you check the children. Show a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes. That is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Horror Show, and Merry Christmas. I'm Cecil Laird,
Merry Crimbus, Jaime Fuego here.
and we are here to review the movie that we actually just put our first time watch up on the channel yesterday. It got flagged for adult material because of the stuff, so it's not going to be pushed at all by YouTube.
It has its fair share of scantily clad, nakedness.
And I had to black bar out all of it, and that was a pain in the ass, let me tell you what.
I can imagine.
But nonetheless, we still got flagged, so you guys might not have seen it pushed in your feeds, but we're here to review the original 1984 Silent Night, Deadly Night, and we had both never seen the film before we recorded our first time reaction, and so that's what we presented yesterday. It's like 42 minutes long, and I do show the movie while we're actually looking at it, and I won that. Like, the company
That's
tried to
what you
claim
told me
it.
when we discussed
I won
this,
that, but then the limited ads. Like, if I cut out those adult parts altogether, then it would be fine.
Yeah.
But the reaction would be like 25 minutes because there's a
yeah.
lot of that, and we said some funny stuff, during those
We did.
parts. So go back and check that out. But we're gonna give our actual review of the film here. We'll still keep it spoiler free. Obviously, if you watch the watch along, then things will be spoiled. But overall, my thoughts on this film, having never seen it before this year, 2023. It came out the same year as another franchise favorite of mine, Nightmare on Elm Street. So one of them definitely overshadowed the other. But this movie surprised me with its quality, quite frankly. I was anticipating a really campy, silly sort of slasher, but it ended up being actually a really serious one with a lot of disturbing elements to it that I could see why the audience was in an uproar over back in 1984, because it is very, out there as far as the time goes and what it was showing. So, but the story is strong. The acting is fun and appropriate for the time and for the story. A little over the top at times, of course, but it's still a really entertaining film. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. This had a level of sophistication that I was not anticipating at all. I was with you. I thought it was going to be just like Goop Status, whatever, but it explored a lot of themes, especially, not just, what happens with parents, and without getting super spoilery about it, but also just I can understand the religious uproar, because there is a villainous essence not just to our killer but also to the upbringing that he experiences, and just the abuse, quite frankly,
Mother
from
Superior
this Catholic...
isn't portrayed in the best light.
Not at all, man. She is a beezy, and so the kills left a little to be desired at times, but the performance from our lead I thought was quite compelling, and even in both states, because as both a kid and then when we catch up with him as an adult and he starts going after peeps, I was impressed, man. Yeah, very much so.
So the story of the film starts off with Billy and his family. He's very young at the time. He's got a baby brother, and his parents are cruising across country or going to visit someone, whatever.
Oh, it was the father.
Right.
Yeah.
Went
So
to
the
visit
dad's
their
father,
father,
who's
Billy's
mentally ill.
Yeah, Billy's grandfather. And while there, they leave him alone with the mute but still probably crazy grandfather, who shows he's not quite as catatonic as he leads people to think he is, and he immediately starts warning Billy about Santa Claus, because if you're bad, Santa Claus comes and takes you away and does bad things to you and stuff like that.
Totally scars the kid.
Completely scars the kid. And then after they leave there, they are stopped by a man in the road dressed in a Santa suit, who is next to a broken down car, what they assume is a broken down car. And as soon as they pull over to try and help, well, actually before they even get a chance to, Santa starts shooting at them, and
It's a trap.
unfortunately takes out the parents of the children. And so then you flash forward to a bunch of years later when Billy is an adult and is trying to get a job and do things during the Christmas time, and he has some darker urges that start to emerge. So that's the long and short of the story. Again, without spoiling, there is some orphanage stuff when he's young, where, as Fuego alluded to, the nuns and the Mother Superior. I mean, there's one kind nun, but the Mother Superior largely is the ironically demonic figure
very much so.
of the orphanage. And so all of it is pretty harrowing, and I was just impressed with. I mean, it's not like a super complicated story, but it was a lot deeper than I anticipated it was going to be, and I enjoyed how it played out.
Yeah, same with you, man. I can understand why some people thought that this was spoiling the sanctity of Christmas at the time, and it had all the protests and whatnot. I'm still very curious how much was added with the uncut version, which we didn't get the
it's like 6 more minutes
to
like
watch,
that.
so probably amplify the kills up a little bit. But yeah, it's much more compelling from like an essence of, you know, how scarred the kid was. He grows up to be this strapping dude and everything, and he gets this job working in this like toy store or something like that. But like, you understand why he gets triggered, like just the pathos and the motivation of how he segues into this murderous spree. It makes a lot of sense, and I was engaged throughout.
Yeah,
totally was.
And the acting, again, there's a couple of people that are, you know, a little bit weaker than some of the other characters, some of the
Hamming it
main
up
characters.
a little bit,
Yeah, letting, you know, just getting a little over the top at times, but it didn't ever take me out of the film. It just was a chuckle-worthy moment in the film, you know, in an otherwise very serious film. So they were actually kind of welcome moments when you get those bits of levity in there.
Oh, well, the boss is goofy, especially when he starts drinking on Christmas and everything. And then there's the shorter dude who gives Billy shit all the time. And so, you know, but, and then you have some stuff that does veer more so into the camp that I was anticipating, like the Linnea Quigley. She has that moment where she's getting down with the dude on the pool table and everything. Like, that was maybe
Goes
a little
to
bit...
answer the door topless, even though it's completely
She shows off her goodies and like everything,
outside.
man. Whether it's Return of the Living
like,
Dead
good
or that
Lord.
movie, or so that was a little more on the goofier side of what I was anticipating. But it's really the backstory of Billy, everything that just pushes him, you know, towards doing this sort of stuff that really elevated this for me much more so than I was expecting.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. The acting is, again, it's appropriately serious when it needs to be, and, you know, entertainingly goofy at times, too. So, the effects are, you know, there's not a ton of them. There's like cutaways, but then there's aftermath stuff. So it's like old school slasher things.
Very much.
It's like a lot of the early Jason and stuff like that, where they don't actually necessarily show the gag of the weapon or whatever's being used going into someone, but the immediate aftermath and beyond is shown. So there's plenty of gore, and it's well done. Again, that didn't pull me out of it at any time. The only, I think, gripe, since I kind of skipped it in the story, that I might have for the film is the extremely truncated end. You know, the big thing it builds to, the confrontation at the end, is kind of cut short.
It is.
I wish we would have gotten more in that portion in the third act. I wish we would have gotten a bit more of oomph in the climax.
Yeah, it did feel like it rushed it a little bit, and there also wasn't as much comeuppance for a particular character as I was really hoping for, although I have heard that in the sequel, it's already been kind of spoiled for me, that it does happen, you know, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. I still haven't, you know, we still haven't seen the sequels either, so maybe if you guys enjoyed that first watch, let us know. Maybe we can make it an annual thing to react to.
That'd be fun.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah,
But,
the silliest kill is the one that pertains to a character showing off her goodies, and there's like some antler action that goes down that just it cracked me up. It was where they went a little more over the top than I think was ultimately necessary, but it was one of the more creative kills in the film too.
Yeah,
you know?
and there was one specific kill that like caught me off guard. I was like, oh shit, that was quick, you know, like that just happened. And so it's a well-rounded movie, and I can see why it got 4 sequels, even though the last 2 don't really have anything to do with the Billy storyline.
Yeah, I know there's the Mickey Rooney Toymaker one. I want to say that's like the 5th entry, and I
And
still
it
remember
clearly
seeing...
gets sillier by the second one with Garbage Day.
Yeah, I've heard the term, even though I've
seen the
film,
meme.
so,
That's the most. But yeah, it's not unlike the Howling series, from what I understand, where the first one's great, and then there's a significant drop off in quality going forward from there.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe 2 sounds like it could be so bad it's good kind of scenario,
maybe,
which
maybe.
kind of was the same for Halloween 2 or Howling 2.
Yeah.
But the rest of the Howling movies just are woof.
Yeah, I've only
woof,
seen the first
so to
one,
speak.
but I have most definitely heard about Marsupials, the third one, and just how goofy and terrible it all gets. But I also really like the use of the score with like just gothic, creepy choirs sort of stuff. Although I was surprised that you don't hear Silent Night in the whole movie. I thought that was kind of a missed opportunity. I was a little surprised about that.
Okay, you might be right. I thought I remembered hearing it, but maybe
I
not.
don't remember it being in there. There's just there's lots of choir kind of creepy use of those sort of score elements and stuff, which I appreciated. So which also elevated just the. I don't know, just the movie having a serious tone when it needed to.
It was pretty well shot for a slasher, too. I remember a few times where I was struck by the cinematography.
Oh, especially you've got this gorgeous snow-covered area where they're filming everything, too. I think they said it was either like Utah or Colorado. It was somewhere in that area. And, yeah, I mean, very pretty. So,
there was a lot of interesting angles they chose to tell the story, though, too. And I mentioned it a couple times I saw when I was editing the reaction, where it was just striking, cool angles that not a lot of people would think to try, and they do a good job with the actual presentation of the story. So yeah, I mean, overall, this is a really solid Christmas horror movie, one of the best, I'd say.
Absolutely, yeah, it has a notoriety for a reason, and I can understand why they remade it with maybe a slightly more scornful spirit about it.
I still don't remember that one at all.
That's the one where the girl gets thrown in the wood chipper, and it is a disturbing kill, man. Like that movie is brutal, dude.
Well, they did Black Christmas in 2006, and they made it a lot gorier, and then Silent Night was 2008, so they probably took a cue from Black Christmas 2006.
Oh yeah,
like let's go gory with it.
Xmas,
which I like. The gory Black Xmas. So
I do too.
I'm
a fan of it. Our buddy David.
I don't remember not liking
it.
Silent Night. I don't remember liking it, but I don't remember not liking it either.
Yeah, so. It's just I don't know, like that Santa beard and everything. The look of that killer was just a lot more sinister and didn't have quite that little camp tinge that you have in this one.
Well, definitely camp tinge because he doesn't even ever put the beard on. It's always just below his chin.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, if you haven't seen Silent Night, Deadly Night, make sure you check it out. It's a very worthwhile watch. And if you have seen it, let us know what your thoughts are on it. Did you see it when it came out? Were you young when you saw it? And did it stick with you? Or does it not really register in the rest of the 80s slashers? Because this one got pretty outshined by a lot of the others.
Yeah.
So let us know what your thoughts are on this one in the comments down below. Thank you very much to all of our patrons for supporting the channel the way that you do. We greatly appreciate it. Again, if you didn't get a chance to watch our first time reaction, our first time watch reaction to Silent Night, Deadly Night, it just dropped yesterday. Go and check it out. If there's enough people that watch it and enjoy it, it'll justify doing more. It was kind of an annoying thing to edit, though, so that's part of why I've held off on doing one.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, let us know what your thoughts are. Thank you very much for watching. Merry Christmas once again if you celebrate. I've been Cecil Laird.
Happy Festivus. I've been Jaime and Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.